Okay? So here's the deal. Professor Barlow asked me to come to talk to your class today about Asian physical culture, specifically Chinese martial arts, which is my passion. But I also need to make a couple points before I start this little talk about Chinese internal martial arts by pointing out that the fundamental concepts that I will be describing are not just Chinese, but that they permeate all of the traditional Asian worldview. And fundamental to the traditional Asian worldview is the concept of energy, Qi. We've talked about Qi, yes? Qi means breath energy. Qi means intrinsic life force that flows through the body. And Qi means the fundamental energy of the cosmos. I'm going to take 3 minutes to describe to you the traditional Chinese worldview of creation. 3 minutes. Anybody got a watch? Starting right now. Before the universe was created, it was just a vast primordial energy field. This vast primordial undifferentiated energy field, called in Chinese Yuan Qi. Yuan meaning primordial, Qi meaning energy. Yes? So, before there was anything, there was a vast undifferentiated field of primordial energy. At the moment of creation, this vast primordial energy field began to coalesce into two polar opposites. Yin Qi, Y-I-N, Yang Qi. Yin Qi, Yang Qi. At the moment of creation, the Yuan Qi separated into these two oppositional energy fields, which we would call in particle physics positive and negative. I mean, positive, negative. The various values associated with yin and yang, I don't want to ascribe any other than the yin qi meaning primordial negative energy, yang qi meaning positive energy. These two energy fields then began to coalescing into a combined and coordinated energy pattern known as Tai Chi. Tai Chi is the combination of yin qi and yang qi. Are we clear on this? That when you look at the Tai Chi symbol and you see the black and the white, and the black dot in the white field and the white dot in the black field, this is the graphic representation of the cosmological concept of the Asian worldview of the universe. It is a very deep concept. What it shows is that there's a balance, that the universe as we know it now is created by these balanced energies of yin and yang. But they're not only balanced. If you look, I wish I had my Tai Chi t-shirt on, but you know what I'm talking about. If you look at the yin field, the white field, if you look at either of the fields, so in Chinese this is called the fish shape. You know how it starts out little and gets big and then goes like that, and the other one starts out little and gets big and then comes to a conclusion? You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the graphic representation of the yin field and the yang field. This process of yin being created out of yang and yang being created out of yin, this is a fundamental concept not only for Chinese philosophy, but it's also a strategic concept in Chinese martial history. Not only that, it's a strategic concept in all of Asian martial history. The strategic concept is that you do not want to meet force with force. In other words, if you have a yang force coming at you, you don't want to meet that with yang force. Do you understand what I'm saying? Many, many times in Asian military history, what the strategic consideration has been is if you are faced with an overwhelming force, you retreat. you retreat, you regroup, and in many cases in Chinese history, I don't know why these people kept falling for it after, 2,000 years, but the smaller force would retreat, a strategic retreat. The larger force would go, we've got them on the run, and they would charge up the canyon, and then they would get annihilated by the counterattack, which had been cunningly planned by these Taoist strategic considerations. Taoism is the fundamental native philosophy, religion of China. Taoism is the study of the natural way. Tao means the way of nature, the way of great nature. And Taoist philosophy comes out of the study of the cosmos, and particularly the concept of yin and yang and Tai Chi. So that these Taoist military strategists understood that force meeting force, there's no advantage there. This is a traditional concept that is called investing in loss. Okay? Could you tell me your name, please?
Ben.
Ben, could you come up and be my lovely assistant for a moment? All right. I want you to push. Right foot forward. Good. All right. So, if Ben is pushing on me, push harder, push harder, push harder, and I push back. This is a typical guy thing. It's like, hey, push me, push me, push me. I'm not going to give an inch because I'm a guy. Right? Okay? Now, all you guys pay close attention to this point. All right? So, now, investing in loss means to push. I take a step back. All right? Push. Harder, harder, harder. If I take a step back, do you see he's lost his balance? Okay? One more time. Now, if I push, 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 you take a step back. I'm in a bad situation. Okay? Thank you, Ben. So this is just a small, simplistic, graphic explanation of the strategic nature of Tai Chi. If you are met with an overwhelming force, you take a step back, you reintegrate your forces, and then you counterattack. There are so many examples of this in Asian military culture, but also it's an important philosophic strategy, and it's, in our terms, it's an important self-preservation strategy. Self-preservation. If you are faced with overwhelming stressors, and Lord knows we all are, what is your response to these stressors? Is it to get increasingly stressed? Is it to, if you get increasingly freaked out? Or can you take a step back? Can you reintegrate your psychodynamic functions, and can you reach a position of equilibrium? From that position of equilibrium, then you can rotate the solution, you can rotate the problem, and this ability to rotate, push. Yeah, push. Do you see how I'm rotating and redirecting? Okay? This is a fundamental concept in Tai Chi Chuan, push, that I'm rotating. I'm not resisting, I'm yielding, and then I'm leading him to a position that's no good for him. Okay? Thank you, Ben.
No problem.
So that as I continue on in this little demonstration, I want you to keep this fundamental strategy in mind. That by rotating away from the incoming force, this is the process of Tai Chi. This is the process of problem solving. And in many cases, this is a process that can aid in a variety of situations personally. Not just philosophically, health-wise, So anyway,